Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about 4 different players: Pedri, Joan Garcia, Lamine Yamal, and Lewandowski. The reason why we're going to be focusing on these 4 players is because Barcelona is on road to getting all of their players back. However, the one player that will for sure not feature in our next match against Elche, it is going to be Pedri, and that is going to be the first player that we're going to be talking about for today. Before you guys even get scared or like you guys are getting worried about what happened with Pedri, it's not an injury. It has nothing to do with him being fatigued or anything. Pedri is simply just going to miss the next match against Elche because of the red card that he received against Real Madrid. However, even though there was not any signs of fatigue or any injury after the match against Real Madrid, I believe that this is a blessing in disguise. I think that for the first time in my lifetime, I'm going to say that I'm very happy to see that Pedri received a red card and he will be missing the next game, because maybe his situation was leading towards fatigue. Maybe his situation was leading towards a potential injury. We're never going to know. But the fact that Pedri is going to be getting a rest against Elche and not play and have 2 weeks off of no game time, that is really good. Pedri has been one of the most heavily used players under Hansi Flick, even though we do have many midfield options like Bernal, Casado, Frenkie, Fermin Lopez, etc. And maybe even with Joan Garcia, who can play in the CDM role, Pedri was always there and always used. And that is simply because Pedri being at 70% is still better than the majority of our midfielders. That's just how it is. Pedri is that effective, and that is why Flick could not sit him down. So far in this season, he has played 17 matches and has already accumulated 1,400 plus minutes, which is about 91% of Barcelona's total game time. And like I've said, you never know, maybe Pedri was going to get to that fatigue point, and maybe there were some signs that he was fatigued, that he was also getting frustrated as well. This is a player that constantly has to go out and defend or attack. He has to do both. He's a CDM, one of the most tiring positions, and I believe that with Pedri not being available for the next match against Elche, it would be a perfect time to put in Dro, a player that Hansi Flick also does rely on, a youngster by the way. He's only 18 years old and he has so far impressed. So maybe we can field a midfield of Frenkie and Marc Casado with Dro acting like a number 10, or maybe Hansi Flick could do something way different, something way beyond our understanding, and use Fermin Lopez as a CDM, because we did see Fermin Lopez at one point in the match against Real Madrid playing as a CDM, and maybe we can see Dro going onto the number 10 position. So Fermin and Frenkie in the double pivot with Dro, Yamal, Rashford, and Ferran Torres up top. And yes, I understand that for me to say that Ferran Torres is going to be starting in the match against Elche, it is unfortunate because we are waiting to see when is Lewandowski going to return, and that is going to be the next player that we're going to be talking about. And we do have some good news. Lewandowski has been training with the group and he's doing very well. He did participate in the light on-pitch drills, which is part of the gradual reintegration of his plan, and his medical team is closely monitoring him, and they're saying that he is okay, like he's fine. And so the possible return date for him will be in the match against Elche. So maybe we can see Lewandowski come in the last 20 minutes and make that recovery go smoothly. And once again, huge news, because Lewandowski is the focal point of Barcelona's attack. It's unfortunate that Lewandowski has missed many games since the international break back in early October due to a muscle tear. As a matter of fact, it saddens me to say that Hansi Flick has unable to use Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Yamal together yet this season, and we need to see that. Flick needs all the firepower that we can get, and with Lewandowski returning very soon, it's going to really provide us the presence in the box and the finishing quality that we have been dying to see. Barcelona will reignite their confidence. They will reignite their efficiency in the attack, and maybe in about 2 or 3 weeks, possibly during the time when we have to face Athletic Club and also Chelsea, which will be after the international break, we can finally have Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Lamine Yamal together. Speaking about Lamine Yamal, who has been one of the most criticized, if not the most criticized player in the world, and I will be talking about that in a separate video. But with Lamine Yamal, it has been said that he might be going through some fitness struggles. It's been analyzed that he only completed 50% of his dribbles, had 55 passes, and no accurate crosses, meaning that his attacking quality right now is very limited. He does not really bring much, and the doctors have been stating that yes, he is still dealing with the pubic injury, a groin inflammation, so he's not fully recovered. So if you think about it, over the past few matches with Lamine Yamal, he has been playing through pain. It's also been seen through the matches that sometimes he does ask his teammates to avoid passing it to him, because there were certain phases through the matches where he's like, I cannot run, like there's something going on in my groin. And let me tell you, the groin injury or the groin inflammation is a huge deal and part of what makes a footballer extremely fast. If you have that healthy, you'll be fine. But if that's anywhere near like an inflammation or maybe like just in general an injury, you're going to be much slower. This injury does limit his acceleration, his agility, his shooting power as well, and it's all vital components to his game. One of the doctors, who is named Dr. Ripoll, claimed that it's a chronic and difficult to treat injury that does require careful load management. This is also an injury that we have seen before at Barcelona, because Lionel Messi also dealt with the exact same issue back in 2019. So it's not the end all end-all be-all. If Messi can get through it and then go out there and win more trophies, score more goals, then Lamine Yamal can certainly do it. So I don't know, like with this injury concern, could that mean that in the match against Elche, he's only going to be playing maybe 55 to 60 minutes or maybe not even play him at all? Flick may have to give Yamal a rest for several games, like who knows, to really allow that full recovery and avoid any like worse conditions. So now lastly, I do want to speak about Joan Garcia because I do want to see Joan Garcia back. I know that Tech has been making multiple saves and he did make a lot of saves against Real Madrid, but we do need a ball playing goalkeeper and Joan Garcia needs to be in immediately. A lot of the teammates and the opponents that we do face today, they now know our weakness. They know that if we press them heavily, they could be leaking some misplaced passes. And this is the sole reason why Deco signed Joan Garcia, is because Joan Garcia is a great ball distributor. And unfortunately, back in late September, he did suffer a meniscus tear on his left knee against Real Oviedo. And then he had to go through a surgery back on September 27th. And it was said that his recovery estimate was going to be around 4 to 6 weeks. However, the big update came out yesterday claiming that he is now ahead of schedule, showing faster than expected recovery. It's expected that they're going to reassess his situation midweek, so sometime between Wednesday and Thursday. And maybe if Joan Garcia is that well, he may not even be ruled out for the match against Elche. So Barcelona currently very cautious. They're very optimistic about his imminent return to the group training sessions as well. And so as we can see here, Hansi Flick is slowly getting his players back. Lewandowski is close to returning, Joan Garcia as well. We'll see what happens with Rafinha. It has been said that Rafinha most likely will return after the international break that will be coming out sometime in November. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.